Well, hello, I'm Molly Caron, and I'm here with Chris Hilliker, who has taken the science of appliance into a new and moral direction. He's here with me to talk about washing machines, refrigerators, and their true value. Welcome to Access TV.
Thank you.
So how long have you been studying appliances, Chris?
Basically all my life. I've repaired thousands and thousands of machines.
And when did you become a business and take it seriously?
I first opened Cambie Appliance in 2009.
Okay, awesome. What have you noticed as time goes on? Have you made observations about newer models and compared them to older models?
Absolutely. I've noticed the quality and the longevity drop dramatically in the time that I've been in the field. And in the time previous, I was lucky to have a very nice mentor in the business, and he'd been in appliance repair for about 30 years.
Wow.
And he told me when I started that I should expect to see clients maybe 5 or 10 years between visits. And now I find that I'm having to go and see people every 1 or 2 years. And sometimes I have to go and see people more than once a year. But that's usually when they've either purchased a new place that has all new appliances, or they've renovated and replaced all the appliances at once. They all kind of seem to hit a point in their life where they need repair. So I'll go and fix the oven,
wow,
and then I'll be back in less than a year to fix the fridge or the dishwasher and so on.
Now, how do you know that doesn't reflect on your work? How do you know that that's about the machine?
Well, because I'll be back to fix a totally different machine. So I'll get their fridge fixed, and then it'll go on for years, but it sort of hits like an age, like around age 7 or 8 or 9, where all these machines, no matter what kind of machine they are, it's almost like they're triggered to have something go wrong.
Wow. So in my case, I have a stacking washing machine and dryer that I bought secondhand from Beeline Appliance about 5 years ago, and I've never had to have it serviced. I wonder why that is.
How old is this machine?
I think it's about 15 years old.
That's why.
Maybe older.
Yeah. Back in the day, things were made very, very solid. They would make the chassis or the body structure able to last decades.
Okay.
So nowadays, they put in integral parts that they expect to fail within about 7 years. For example, front-load washing machines often have parts that corrode in detergent and water. Integral parts, so without them you can't use the machine. And then the price to repair those parts costs about the same as buying a new one. So then people are forced into this horrible choice.
Yeah.
Where they have to decide whether to spend the price of a new one to keep the old one from the landfill, or just abandon it and buy a new one.
Wow. It almost sounds like planned obsolescence. Shame. It's like it's almost planned for the company to make more money by not making it last.
Yeah, intent is always the hardest thing to prove. But if you're using parts that corrode in detergent and water, then that's sort of bizarre. The other thing is I'll see that they'll have a lot of proprietary electronics in the machines. So you can only get those electronics from the manufacturer.
Right.
And if they ever decide to stop making those parts, then you have no choice. You're forced to buy a new one.
And that has a huge impact on the planet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the mining and the disposal and everything that is involved with an appliance. I'm really glad you're joining us on Access TV. You'll be back, and I'm wanting to know from you next time is, how do I know when an appliance is worth keeping or not?
That's a really good question.
Old is gold and new is not necessarily better. We will speak more about this. We've been learning about appliances on Access TV. I'm Molly Caron, and the learning continues.
Chris Hilliker would be back with us for another appliance break on April 12th. Get in touch with him and ask your questions directly on his Facebook page, Cambie Appliances and Refrigeration. Maybe next time on Access TV, he will be answering your question.